Every new age, to each of us, means the world. The usual traditions of singing happy birthday to each other, blowing out candles, and sharing slices of cake never get old, do they? And if we're being honest, the most valuable of all this world's currencies is age. Life is by far the greatest type of wealth any of us can ever have, which explains why it is always miraculous for someone to defy all odds and live for a really, really long time. Several days, months, years, decades, and, where possible, an entire century. Think about how awesome it would be if that became your reality. The third born of seven, Kane Nataka, is a lady whose birth happened way back in the village of Wanjiro on the 2nd day of January in the year 1903, and is lucky enough to be one such person that's lived for longer than a century. This is a phenomenal lady who has witnessed both world wars because she was breathing by the time each of them broke out. Much credit is deserved for having survived both of those long and frightening episodes of violence, don't you think? Nataka at one time had no choice but to hold her breath for longer than you can imagine because her husband and sons all had to take part in these wars after being enlisted in Japan's military. Her steadfastness was rewarded in 1947 when the love of her life and their son successfully returned from the war alive and well, thereby joining her in the family store where she had all along been selling noodles. In 1993, fate dealt Nataka a sad blow when her husband passed on at the age of 90. Like you would expect, she has seen it all after having witnessed Japan in both its worst economic states and in its much more flourished era. She has been a resident in a nursing home since September 2018 and spends some of her time taking walks around the premises because she is surprisingly still in perfect health. At 118 years, Nataka is clearly the oldest living human, and this has, in turn, earned her a lot of fame and the much coveted Guinness World Record.